So we'll start with centering here. So let's make our way to our backs. I always find that a nice way for me to at least center. So with us on our backs, you know, you can feel really grounded here, right? So I like to allow freedom of whatever you want to do. If you want your knees up towards the sky, you want the soles on the feet, the soles of the feet on the mat, keep doing that. If you're wanting to maybe kind of open up your hips, you can always find Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet will be together and the hips and the knees will be out wide. So those knees are probably kind of a little bit over the edges of the mat. Now with our hands, what do we want to do with our hands? So I like placing one on my belly, the other on my chest, because that's really going to help me when I'm trying to center, because I can notice the rise and the fall of the inhalations and the exhalations here. Let's shake our head from left to right just for a moment to ease the tension, remind the neck that it can relax. It works all day, every day, so when we can allow that rest, let's make sure we're doing so. And then when you are ready, maybe a shoulder roll, just getting a little bit comfy here. And we'll just take a few breaths together to center. So as we inhale, let's fill up the side bodies, the rib cage. Let the belly extend up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to push it all through and sigh it on out. Big inhale here, filling up the body. And exhale, let it go. Now, if I'm ever going too fast or too slow for you, I always encourage you to stay with your own breath. So as you inhale, make sure you are expanding and allowing that breath to fill up all the way from the pelvis to the diaphragm. And really push it away as you exhale, becoming small again. Inhale and exhale. Now, biggest inhale here. Filling up towards the sky, filling up the belly. When you've reached that maximum capacity, try to inhale just one more, holding it. And then we'll exhale, letting it all out. Awesome. Let's bring those knees into the chest here for just a little hug, a little love for the body today. Thanking your body, thanking yourself, your mind for allowing you some time on the mat today, whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 60 minutes. The fact that you're here is plenty for me. So as you have those knees close to your chest, maybe you rock from side to side, finding a little massage in the lower back. And then eventually when you are ready, you'll come to stillness and you'll want to you'll want to rock the length of your spine up and down your mat. So maybe about 2 or 3 rocks here, just to come to seated. So we'll cross at the ankles and we're gonna go right to tabletop. No fancy way on getting there, just whichever works for you. So here in our tabletop position, we always want to make sure the shoulders are gonna be over the wrist and the hips over the ankles. And you want the hips over the knees. And you want the hips you want the knees about hip distance apart. So finding a firm foundation, keeping the soles of the feet on the mat as well, and really finding a nice spread into the fingers, pushing away at the mat, finding a subtle round in the back, separating the shoulder blades. We're going to warm up the spine here with some cat-cow movements. Probably one of my favorite things to do. I do this religiously every day. Just a nice way to warm up the body, invite those movements in. So with our cat-cows, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, and shift the gaze up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, we're going to round at the lower, mid, upper back, separating those shoulder blades, tucking the chin towards the chest. Big inhale here, dropping the belly. The gaze will always be last to protect the neck. And again, exhaling, pushing and rounding at the back. Big inhale here. And exhale, round. Once again, we'll inhale and we'll separate those collarbones, push the heart and chest through. And I always, like I mentioned, follow your own breath to movement. So allow those inhalations to let the belly drop. And as you exhale, that's going to allow you to push away at the mat, push away at the ground. And maybe you find some more intuitive movement. So maybe you find some hip rolls here. Maybe you barrel roll the belly. Maybe you even come to child's pose for a moment. Don't let me stop you from taking what you need from this practice ever. And if you're feeling it and you're loving this cat-cow, I'm loving it for you, so you can stay like this as well. And we'll just be here for a few more rounds just to give you some options to explore. A couple more rounds. And as we finish up that last one, we will meet in our neutral tabletop position. And now we're going to tuck the toes and lift the knees, extending the legs out long, finding plank pose. So we'll be here just for a moment. So really push those the balls of the feet into the mat, and you push those heels towards the back of the room as well. Now you still want to keep a nice spread of the fingers as you separate the shoulder blades and really push away at the back. And you want to keep the head in line with the shoulders, and you want the shoulders in line with the hips as well. Gaze right in between the hands here to keep that neck nice and long. In this pose, you're working everything, right? So that core is activating, you're working and you're building up that strength in the forearms and the muscles there as you push away at the mat. You want to fire up the quads here and really push and kind of kiss them together and keep them activated as well. Don't let all the work happen in the arms. Wait for 3 breaths. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Biggest inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to slowly come to the mat. So belly to the mat, chin to the mat as well. You'll keep the hands over the shoulders. We're just going to work through a few rounds of baby cobra. So baby cobra means we're not going to find our biggest expression here. We just want to find a nice little bend in the back. So a nice little back bend. So as we inhale, we'll bring the head up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the head to the mat. Biggest inhale here. Not a lot of weight in the hands, guys, but you still want to find a little bend in the back and let those hands support you as well. And then we'll exhale that third eye to the mat. Biggest inhale here. Maybe we play with floating our hands off the mat this time. And we'll exhale back to the mat. Biggest inhale here as we make our way back to our plank pose for just a moment. And then we'll lift those hips up towards the sky for downward facing dog. So here in downward facing dog, you really want to push away at the hands, sealing the index finger and the thumb. You want equal weight in all fingers here. So you don't want to bear weight on the outer edges of the hands or the inner edges of the hands. That's going to cause wrist injuries. So make sure you can feel the equal distribution. Heels never, never, never have to touch the ground. That's simply the direction they are going. So really push away and keep those heels going towards that ground, melting the chest towards the thigh, and you can look directly in between both legs. So big inhales, we lift that right foot up towards the sky, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the right foot in between both hands. Staying on the ball mount of the back left foot, we'll rise for crescent. So here in crescent, we want to keep the right knee over that right ankle just to protect the knee, and we really want to push that left heel up towards the sky as we stay steady in the ball mount of the left foot. So we want to keep the hips squared towards the front of the room as well as we tuck the tailbone, keeping that core activated. And as we inhale and then as we exhale, we can lunge a little bit deeper in here as the arms frame the ears. So big inhales, we find length, and as we exhale, allow that lunge. Awesome, guys. If your arms are ever tired in crescent, you can always bring the heart center as well. There's a big inhale here. And exhale, lunge just a little bit. Last inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to open up for warrior 2. So go ahead and pivot that left heel down towards the mat, sealing the outer edge blade of the left foot. So our hips are going to be squared towards the left side of the mat here as well. And we're still keeping that same bend we had in crescent in warrior 2. Arms will be out to a T. Maybe we roll those shoulder blades down just a bit. Those shoulders like to creep up on us towards the ears. And we'll gaze over that right hand. Awesome. Always keeping that core activated here too, guys. So if you're ever wondering if your hips are, squaring towards the center, or the left side of the mat, you can always bring your hands to the hip points for a little assistance, a little guidance, you could say. And again, you just want to find your drishti, or what that means is find a focal point, something not moving you can gaze at. Awesome, guys, you're doing great. These poses are no joke. It definitely works the legs. Big inhale. And we'll exhale, lunge just a little bit deeper. Now on this inhale, let's flip that right hand and reverse our warrior up towards the left side of the room, finding that nice side body stretch right in the right side. And we'll exhale to warrior two. We'll do that once more. Let's inhale, reverse our warrior. And this time as we exhale, we're gonna cartwheel both hands to the mat. We're gonna find a low lunge. So pivot that left heel up, and you're now gonna be on the ball mount of the left foot. And you'll inhale that right arm up overhead. Gaze can follow as well. You wanna work on trying to keep that right knee a little bit close to the chest here too. You don't wanna let it kind of spray out here. So you wanna really seal the big toe, the right big toe down to the mat. Big inhale and exhale. Awesome, guys. Make sure that left ear doesn't creep towards the left shoulder here as well. Keep a nice space there. Last inhale. And as we exhale, we'll bring both hands to the mat. We'll bring that right foot back to meet the left, and we'll go through our vinyasa here, right? So we'll inhale and ride that whole exhale down to chaturanga, keeping the elbows tucked close, untucking those toes, inhaling for upward facing dog, opening up the chest, finding that bend. And we'll exhale to downward facing dog. Awesome. So lucky for you, we have two sides. So we're gonna go through that on the left side. I'll cue it once more. And then we'll end with just linking that breath to movement and finding that nice moving meditation, I like to call it. So inhale that left foot up towards the sky. And as we exhale, that's gonna meet in between both hands, staying on the ball mount of the right foot, rising for crescent. And again, letting those arms frame the ears, keeping the hips squared towards the mat, and just finding a subtle gaze. And remember, keeping that left heel, or I'm sorry, now the right heel rather, up towards the sky, towards the front of the room. You want to keep a nice strong bend. I like to think of a long line of energy from that right heel all the way to the crown of my head. And lunge deep. Big inhale. Last exhale here, let's lunge a little bit deeper. Last inhale. And as we exhale, open out for warrior two, now sealing down the outer edge blade of our right foot. Finding that gaze, squaring the hips towards the right side of the mat. And just breathe. Always keeping that tailbone tucked in here too, guys. We don't want to kind of push our butt out here. We don't want to find a curve in the spine. We want a nice long spine. Big inhale. And exhale, lunge just a little bit deeper into that left foot. This time as we inhale, we'll flip that left palm and we'll reverse our warrior. And we'll exhale back to warrior two. One more time here, inhale, reversing that warrior. And we'll exhale both hands to the mat, finding that low lunge again. So we'll pivot onto the ball mount of the right foot as we extend the left arm up long. Finding just that nice twist, feeling it in those hips. Big inhale. And exhale. Awesome, last inhale here, guys. And as we exhale, both hands will meet the mat, and we'll bring that left foot to meet the right, and we'll flow through our vinyasa. So exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome. So we made it through me cueing while you're wondering when this pose will be done. So now we'll kind of pick it up a little bit, but again, always stay with your pace. If I'm ever too fast or too slow for you, definitely just tune me out and keep it going. So here we go, guys. We'll inhale that right foot up towards the sky, and we'll exhale to the front of our mat, rising for crescent on that inhale. And exhale just to settle. Big inhale here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior, keeping that knee nice and low. Exhale, back to warrior two. Big inhale here, reversing that warrior. And we'll exhale both hands to the mat, finding that low lunge, pivoting on the left ball mount of the foot. Big inhale. And we'll exhale both hands down, flowing through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Right away, let's pick up that left foot, guys. And we'll exhale it to the top of our mat, rising for crescent. And exhale to settle. Big inhale here. Exhale, open up to that warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Big inhale here, reverse that warrior. And exhale, both hands to the mat, finding that low lunge again, pivoting on the ball mount of the right foot. Big inhale. And exhale just to settle. Last inhale here. And we'll exhale both hands to the mat, coming to that plank pose and flowing through your last vinyasa, guys. And meeting in downward facing dog. Awesome. Then we'll just come to our knees here really quick. And then to our bums. We'll just end with a nice little hip opener here, our butterfly pose. So butterfly pose could look different for everybody. It should look different for everybody. We're not the same. So you'll want to, depending on the space you have, your butterfly pose could look more like a diamond shape, or you can invite those heels in closer to the thighs to kind of grab onto. But either way, find what works for you today. Bring the thumbs into the inner arches of the feet, and all 4 fingers are going to kind of wrap around the top sole of the foot here. So let's inhale to that straight spine, and as we exhale, we are able to round in this pose just to find that deep bend, that nice hip opener. And we'll close out with just a few breaths to ourselves. So if you feel comfortable enough, please feel free to close your eyes during this time.